In this video, we'll take a look at preterite tense stem changers. Since you should already be familiar with present tense stem changers, the concept should be pretty comfortable for you, but there are some significant differences between present and preterite tense stem changers, so we'll look at those differences. As we do that, it's going to be very important for you to keep in mind that being a present tense stem changer is not the same thing as being a preterite tense stem changer. Let's look at some specifics here. First off, just because a verb is a stem changer in the present tense does not mean that it will be a stem changer in the preterite tense. In fact, only IR stem changers from the present tense are also stem changers in the preterite tense. And we'll take a closer look at that in a little while with some examples. Another difference is that in the present tense, we're used to stem changers changing in these forms. We often call those boot verbs, you probably remember that. In the preterite tense, though, if we're looking at the verb chart, the only forms that are going to ever have a stem change are the third person forms. So here on the bottom of the verb chart, the third row. So that's a pretty significant difference. Make sure that you make a note of that. Another important difference is that in the present tense, we learned about 4 different types of stem changers: E to IE, E to I, O to UE, and U to UE. In the preterite tense, we only have 2 types of stem changers, E to I and O to U. Here's an example, the verb dormir. You probably remember that in the present tense, dormir is a stem changing verb. It's an O to UE stem changer. Since it's a present tense IR stem changing verb, it's also a stem changer in the preterite tense. But remember, we only have the 2 types of stem changers in the preterite. We have E to I and O to U. So instead of being an O to UE like it was in the present, it's now an O to U. Here we see dormir conjugated in the preterite tense. Dormi, dormiste, durmió. Third row there, there's our stem change, highlighted in red. Dormimos, dormistes, durmieron. If we were to use dormir in a sentence in the preterite tense, the steps would be nothing surprising. We have dormir. We cut off the IR, we would add the appropriate ending, but then because it's a stem changer, we do have to make sure to make that change as well. So Miguel durmió bastante. Again, the concept here should not be tricky for you. It's very similar to what we did in the present tense. Just remember those few things. Being a stem changer in the present does not mean it's a stem changer in the preterite, except for the IR verbs. There are only 2 types of stem changers in the preterite tense, E to I and O to U, and only the third row is going to change for us.